Hello, this is Mrs. Ridgway, and I'm going to be working through part 2 of chapter 3, word chapter 3. We're going to be working with headers and footers. So if you would like to follow along, turn to page 32 in your textbook. Setting tab stops. A tab stop, we often call them tab, is a location on your horizontal ruler where the insertion point moves when you press that tab key on your keyboard. By default, a document contains tab stops every 1/2 inch on the horizontal ruler at the top. In the document, you can see the non-printing tab character that appears every time you press the tab key. A non-printing tab character is just like any other character that you type. You can delete it by pressing backspace or the delete key. There are 5 major types of tab stops: left, center, right, decimal, and bar. Take a moment to look at figure 3-22. Look at the 5 major types of tab stops. To create more complicated tab stops, you can use the tabs dialog box. Among other things, the tabs dialog box allows you to insert a dot leader, which is a row of dots or other characters between tabbed text. A dot leader makes it easier to read a long list of tabbed material because the eye can follow the dots from one item to the next. You've probably seen dot leaders used in a table of contents in a book where the dots separate the chapter titles from the page numbers. To create a left tab stop with a dot leader, you would simply click the dialog box launcher in the paragraph group on your home tab. I'm going to click I'm on the home tab, I'm looking at the paragraph group of commands, and just to the right of the word paragraph, I'm going to click this little square box with an arrow. This brings up the dialog box, and I am looking at indents and spacing. And so at the very bottom of this dialog box, I'm going to choose tabs. In the tab stop position box inside this tabs dialog box, you can type the location on the ruler where you want to insert the tab. If you want the tab to be inserted at 2.5 or 2.5 inches, then you would type 2.5. And then in the leader section, which is towards the bottom of this box, you can click the option button for the type of leader that you want. You'll see that there's the ... there's hyphens, and there's looks like maybe a underline. Click the set button, and then you would click OK. So that's how you would go about creating your dot leader. Moving on, I'm going to cancel out of here. In the report you've been working on, you need to type the list of consultants and their titles. So you should be looking at your wireless with your last name document on the screen. And then we want to scroll up to display the Help from Norris Blaine Network Consulting heading on page 1. Confirm that your ruler and your non-printing characters are displayed. Make sure that your print layout view is showing and that you've zoomed in to 120%. Step 6 on page 33, click to the right of the last E in Cade Blake. I'm there, and then I'm going to tab, and as you can see, when I press the tab, the non-printing character is this arrow. I can backspace to delete it. I can press the tab again, and it puts the character back in. I'm going to turn over to page 34. I'm on step 8. Type senior consultant. Senior consultant. Press enter. Type Samuel J, tab, senior, I misspelled consultant. Type Beverly. Tab, project manager. Now, as you can see, the list of names and titles is not aligned. It's not aligned properly. So we need to add a new tab stop to the horizontal ruler. So make sure that the home tab is displayed on the ribbon, and then select the list of consultants and their titles. All right, so I'm at the home tab, and I'm going to select the consultants and their titles. On the horizontal ruler itself, I'm going to click the 2.5 mark. Just get towards the bottom and click it. And because the current tab stop alignment style is left tab, Word inserts a left tab stop at this location. Remember that when you set a new tab stop, all the default tab stops to its left are removed. Okay, moving to step 3, select the first 2 paragraphs in the list which contain the names and titles for Cade and Samuel. So what we're going to do is remove paragraph spacing by selecting the first 2 names, and then we'll go step 4, we're going to go up to the paragraph group, select the line and paragraph spacing, and then go to the very bottom and remove space after paragraph. Click anywhere in your document to deselect the list and then save your work. Click on the quick assessment toolbar, click the save. All right, now page 36. By default, hyphenation is turned off in Word documents. That means if you are in the middle of typing a word and you reach the end of a line, Word moves the entire word to the next line instead of inserting a hyphen and breaking the word into 2 parts. This can result in ragged text on the right margin. So you want to ensure a smoother right margin by turning on automatic hyphenation. And in this case, any word that ends within the last 1/4 inch of a line will be hyphenated. All right, so let's review the paragraph underneath the heading Help from Norris Blaine Network Consulting. And I want you to watch this as we do these next few steps. Keep an eye on this paragraph so that it will help you to understand and see the benefits of hyphenation. At the top, click Layout tab. So go and click on the Layout tab, and in your page setup group, click hyphenation. And then before you click on automatic, I want you to move your mouse on top of automatic and then watch the paragraph as you click automatic. You notice a difference now. It's much smoother. Save the document. On page 37, formatting a document into sections. This is a very important part of this chapter. So you want to try to absorb this as much as you can. A section is a part of a document that can have its own page orientation, margins, headers, footers, and so on. In other words, each section is like a document within a document. To divide a document into sections, you insert a section break. You can select from a few different types of section breaks. One of the most useful is the next page section break, which inserts a page break and starts the new section on the next page. Another commonly used kind of section break is called the continuous section break, where it starts the section at the location of the insertion point without changing the page flow. On page 37, step 1, we're going to press the Control End. Control plus End. Just below the table is where you should be. Step 2, in the page setup group, click Breaks button. The Breaks gallery opens up. The first option you see is Page. Page inserts a page break. It has the same effect as clicking the page break button on the Insert tab or pressing Control plus Enter. On page 38, step 3, under the section breaks, choose Next Page. A section break is inserted in the document, and the insertion point moves to the top of the new page 4. I'm going to scroll up so you can see section break. You see the double dotted line and the word section break with next page in parentheses just below the table on page 3. This line indicates that a new section begins on the next page. You can delete this section break if you want to by clicking on it and deleting. All right, save the document. All right, so we've created a new page that is a separate section from the rest of the report. The sections are numbered consecutively. The first part of the document is section 1, and the new page we just created is section 2. Now you can format section 2 in landscape orientation without affecting the rest of your document at the top. Scroll down and verify that the insertion point is positioned at the very top of page 4. And then on your ribbon, click View, Multiple Pages in the Zooms group, and then zoom your level down to 30% so that you can see all 4 pages of the document displayed side by side. On the ribbon, click the Layout tab, and then in the Page Setup group, click Orientation, and then choose Landscape. Section 2, which consists solely of page 4, changes to Landscape Orientation, while Section 1, consisting of pages 1 through 3, remain in Portrait Orientation. Okay, now zoom back to 120%. On page 39, page 4 is now formatted in landscape orientation. It's ready for us to create a handout, which will consist of a graphic that shows the benefits of improving the company's wireless network. We're going to be using word's SmartArt feature to create the graphic. A SmartArt graphic is a diagram of shapes such as circles, squares, and arrows. A well-designed SmartArt graphic can illustrate concepts that might otherwise require several paragraphs of explanation. Sometimes you can just look at a SmartArt and then you get what it's telling you, just like looking at a table, a chart. Sometimes you can get it just automatically by visualizing. To create a SmartArt graphic, we're going to verify that the insertion point is located at the top of page 4, which it is, and then we're going to click the Insert tab at the top, go to the Illustrations group, and click on SmartArt. SmartArt. The Choose a SmartArt Graphic dialog box opens with categories of SmartArt graphics in the left panel. The middle panel displays the graphics associated with the category currently selected in the left panel. The right panel displays a larger image of the graphic that is currently selected in the middle panel, along with an explanation of the graphic's purpose. By default, All is selected in the left panel. Step 4, Explore the Choose a SmartArt graphic dialog box by selecting the different categories. Here's List, and Process, Cycle, Hierarchy, Relationship, Matrix, Pyramid, and so forth. Step 5, in the left panel, click Relationship. And then scroll down in the middle panel and click Converging Radial, which is in the first column, 7th row from the top. Converging Radial, which shows it has 3 rectangles with arrows pointing to a circle. Okay, then if you look at the right panel, you see an explanation of the converging radial graphic. All right, so let's turn to page 40. Click OK. The converging radial graphic with its placeholder text is inserted at the top of page 4. The graphic is surrounded by a rectangular border indicating that it is selected. The SmartArt Tools contextual tabs appear on the ribbon at the very top. To the left of the graphic, you can also see the text pane, which is a small window with a title bar that contains the words, "Type your text here." Now we're ready to add text to the graphic. To add the text, we're going to type "better connectivity." So let's just start typing. Better connectivity. Press the down arrow on your keyboard. Type hardware upgrades. Press the down arrow to move to the next box and type wireless site survey. Be sure and check your spelling, and then press the down arrow to move to the third box. And we really don't need this one, so we've clicked it, and we just need to delete this. So I've clicked it. I'm going to make sure I click here in the blue area, and then press the delete key. We now have 2 boxes and a circle. Step 5, make sure the SmartArt Tools Design tab is still selected on your ribbon. Step 6, in the Create Graphic group, which is to the far left on the ribbon at the top, we're going to click Text Pane. To deselect it, the text pane closes. Step 7, click the white area inside your SmartArt border. This ensures that none of the individual shapes are selected. And now we're going to need to resize our SmartArt graphics so it fills our entire page. Zoom out so that you can see the entire page. And as you can see on the ruler, the SmartArt is currently 6 inches wide. You could drag the SmartArt border to resize it just as you can with any graphic, but you will get more precise results using the size button. Turn to page 42. On the ribbon, click the SmartArt Tools Format tab at the top. On the right side of the SmartArt Tools Format tab, locate the size group. Click inside the height box, change this to 6.5. Then click inside the width box, change the width to 9, and press enter. The SmartArt graphic resizes so that it is now 9 inches wide and 6.5 inches high, taking up most of the page. Step 5, click outside of the SmartArt to deselect it. and then review the graphics centered on the page. Make sure everything is correctly spelled. Be sure, let's save. So be sure and save. Now we're going to be adding headers and footers. We're going to add a header at the top of each page in the report, and then we're going to add a footer at the bottom of each page in the report. The first step to working with headers and footers is to open the header and footer view. And there are different ways that you can do that. We're going to just follow along in the book. Bottom of page 43. We're going to create the footer on page 1. So we're going to zoom to 120%. So let me go back up to 120%. And then scroll up until we're on page 2. Okay, we're at the bottom of page 1. Okay, until I see the bottom of page 1 and the top of page 2. Then we're going to move our mouse to the bottom of the page near the very edge, and we're going to double click the white space at the bottom of page 1. The document switches to the header and footer view. The header and footer tools design tab is displayed on the ribbon at the top. The insertion point is positioned on the left side of the footer area. It's ready for you to begin typing. The label that you see, which is gray, footer section 1, tells you that the insertion point is located in the footer for section 1. The document text is gray, indicating that you cannot edit it in the header footer view. The header area for section 1 is also visible at the top of page 2. The default footer tab stops, which are different from the default tab stops in the main document, are visible on the ruler. Step 3 on page 44, type your first and last names and then press enter. In the header footer group, click the page number button. It's located to the far left on the ribbon. So we're going to click page number and then choose current position. A gallery of page number styles opens, and we want to choose accent bar 2, which is the third one on the list. Accent bar 2. The word page, a vertical bar, and the page number are inserted in the footer. Okay, next we're going to check to make sure that the footer is in all 3 or 4 pages. There's page 2, page 3, and page 4. On page 45, this is also a very important part of this chapter that you need to really absorb, take it in. Very, very helpful. We're going to separate the headers for section 1 and section 2. Verify that the insertion point is located in the section 2 footer area at the bottom of page 4. So I'm going to click and make sure I'm at the bottom of page 4 inside the footer area. And make sure that the header and footer tools design tab is selected on your ribbon at the top. To switch from the footer to the header in the current section, you can use the Go To Header button, which is on your ribbon in the navigation group. So step 2 has us going up to the group, navigation group, and clicking Go To Header. The insertion point moves to the section 2 header at the top of page 4. Notice that in the navigation group, if you look up there on your ribbon in that group, you'll see the link to previous button is selected. In the header area in the document window, the gray tab on the right side of the header border contains a message, same as previous. It's on the right. And same as previous, indicating that the section 2 header is set up to display the same text as the header in the previous section, which is section 1. To make the section 2 header a separate entity, you need to break this link between the section 1 and section 2 headers. So step 3 has us clicking the link to previous, so we can break that link, and the little gray box disappears. Step 4, in the navigation group, we're going to click the previous button. So let's go to previous. The insertion point moves up to the nearest header in the previous section, which is the section 1 header at the top of page 3. The label header section 1 identifies this as a section 1 header. Step 5, in the header and footer group, click the header button. So go to the far left and choose header. And there's a gallery of header styles that open up to you. And we're going to choose grid style. Grid style. You'll need to scroll down. You might want to scroll down and check all of these out. See what's available. And then choose grid. Type. Okay, so what this does is it brings up the placeholder text in brackets, document title, and then that's on the left, in the left margin, and then you see another bracket with date, which is in the right margin. Step 7, we're going to click document title. So click inside that little placeholder box, and we're going to turn the page to page 46. And we're going to type recommendation for the wireless network at Spruce and Cooper. On page 46, step 8. The text you just typed is now displayed in the document control instead of the placeholder text. Next, we need to add the date. So we need to click the date placeholder and then click the down arrow next to date. And let's choose the 16th. Or choose the current date. Choose the current date. Okay, so now we have the month and the day and the year, the current date. This is inserted. Now we need to scroll up slightly and click anywhere in the section 1 footer, okay, on the preceding page so that we can deselect the date document control. So we're going to move up slightly. And just click in the footer, and that removes that control from around the date. In step 12, in the close group, we need to close the header and footer. And then step 13, go to the View tab at the top, so click View. Step 14, multiple pages. We're going to choose multiple pages and then zoom down to 30% so that you can see all 4 pages of the document, including the header at the top of pages 1 through 3 and the footer at the bottom of pages 1 through 4. Okay, so take a moment to compare both sections. We have a header on pages 1 through 3, but not on 4. We have a footer on all 4 pages. Page 47, we're going to be inserting a cover page. A report's cover page typically includes the title and the name of the author. Some people also include a summary of the report on the cover page, which is commonly referred to as an abstract. To insert a pre-formatted cover page at the beginning of the document, you use the cover page button on the Insert tab. All right, let's start at the bottom of page 47. Step 1, verify that the document is still zoomed so that you can see all 4 pages. And then press the Control plus the Home key on your keyboard. Control, Home. You should now see your insertion point at the top of the first page. Step 2, click the Insert tab at the top. In the Pages group, click Cover Page. It's on the far left. Cover Page. A gallery of cover page styles opens up. Notice that the names of the cover page styles match the names of the pre-formatted header styles that you saw earlier. For example, the list includes a grid cover page, which is designed to match the grid header used in this document. To give a document a uniform look, it's helpful to use elements with the same style throughout your paper. Step 4, scroll down the gallery to see the cover page styles and then locate Grid Cover Page Style. There's a lot of different styles. Click on Grid. You now see the cover page on the screen. Step 6, zoom. Change the zoom to 120%. And then scroll down to display the report title in the middle of the cover page. Okay, we're looking at the cover. Recommendations for the wireless network at Spruce and Cooper. The only difference between the title, recommendations for the wireless network at Spruce and Cooper here, and the title you entered in the document header is that here the title is displayed in all uppercase letters. The entire title is right aligned. The cover page also includes document controls for a subtitle and an abstract. The word network is hyphenated, which looks awkward in a title that is, formatted in all capital letters. So we need to fix this by changing the document's hyphenation settings. On the ribbon, click the Layout tab at the top, then click Hyphenation. Choose Hyphenation Options, and then we want to uncheck the box, Hyphenate Words in Caps. Let's turn that off. Click OK. The word network moves to the 3rd line, so the hyphen is no longer necessary. Next, we need to type a subtitle in the subtitle document control on the right side of the page. So let's click inside the placeholder. Type prepared by Ebony Wheatley. Now we need to remove the abstract document control because we do not need an abstract for this report. So I'm talking about right here where it says just underneath the title, it shows, if you click on it, it shows the abstract. Draw your reader in with and blah, blah, blah. All right, so we're going to right click and we're going to choose from the menu, Remove Content Control. Save your document. We're now on page 49. Working with themes. A theme is a coordinated collection of fonts, colors, and other visual effects designed to give a document a cohesive, polished look. The theme colors are the colors you see in the theme colors section of any color gallery, such as the font color gallery. Theme colors are used in the document styles to format headings, body text, and other elements. Each theme assigns a font for headings and a font for body text. These two fonts are known as the document's theme fonts. Turn with me to page 50. Because Ebony has not yet selected a new theme, the office theme is currently applied to the document. However, she thinks that the Facet theme might be more appropriate for the document. She asks you to apply it now. At the bottom of page 50, step 1, if necessary, scroll to display the title on the cover page. This will allow you to quickly see how the document changes when you change the theme. Note that currently one section of the cover page is formatted with a blue background and the other is formatted with like a bluish gray background. Step 2, on the ribbon, click the Design tab. Oops, I've got to click. The Design tab is located at the very top, so click Design. Step 3, in the document formatting group, point to the Themes button. Okay, so I'm pointing. A screen tip appears containing the text Current Office Theme, as well as general information about themes. Step 4, in the document formatting group, we're going to click Themes button. The Themes gallery opens up, and because Microsoft occasionally updates the available themes, you might see a different list than the one shown in the figure. On page 51, move the pointer over the various themes in the gallery to see the live preview of each theme in the document. Pretty cool, huh? Step 6, in the Themes gallery, click the Facet Theme. And then scroll down to review the document's new look. One section of the cover page now has a green background, and the other has a dark gray background. The table is formatted in shades of brown, and the SmartArt is green. The document text is now formatted in the body and heading fonts of Facet Theme, with the headings formatted in green. Step 7, in the document formatting group. Okay, format group, point to the Fonts button. All right, so I'm going to move to the right and I'm pointing to the Fonts button. A screen tip appears listing the currently selected theme, which is Facet, the heading font, and the body font. This tells the font style used for this particular theme design. You may have in one of your assignments, one of the questions might be, what font style is the default for this design? And in that case, you will need to know to come here and place your mouse on the font button. Okay, page 52, save your changes. Page 33, preview the report. On the ribbon, we're going to click File, and then choose Print. The cover page of the report is displayed in the document preview to the right pane. Examine your document preview. Use the arrow buttons down at the bottom below the cover page to move from page to page. If you need to make any changes to the report, then return to the print layout view and make your edits, edit whatever needs to be edited, and then display it again. Check it out. Change the zoom. Now we need to change the zoom to 120 while we're here. So we're looking at one page at a time. We could decrease and look at several at a time. Okay, reviewing a document in read mode. The members of Spruce and Cooper's leadership team could choose to print the report, but some might prefer to read it on their screens instead. In that case, they can take advantage of the read mode, a document view designed to make reading on a screen as easy as possible. Unlike print layout view, which mimics the look of the printed page with its margins and page breaks, read mode focuses on the document's content. Read mode displays as much content as possible on the screen at a time, with buttons that allow you to display more. All right, so let me go back. Okay, and I went back and I clicked on View. And then if you look to the far right, you will see the Read Mode button. Click on it. And then you can click on the screen. This is the Read Mode view, and click these little arrows so that you can go through. It focuses on the text itself. All right, and let's see here. Well, basically, we're done with this assignment. Be sure to save. See, I'm going to go back to View, and I'm going to choose Edit the Document, so I get back to the normal view here. And be sure to save your work. And this completes Chapter 3 module.